This is going to be week 5 African Lion assignment. I'm going to walk you through on how to do this. You should have all these files downloaded from Google Classroom, and and you have a printout if you would like to read it. So I'm going to walk you through a lot of this since we have a lot of kids virtual right now. So to start off, we're going to open Cracked Earth file. Let's do file open, and let me get to the right assignment. Cracked Earth JPEG. Without changing the physical size of the image, we're going to change the resolution to 250 pixels. To do that, we're going to go image size, go to the resolution, it's 200. And hit OK. Now we're going to change the physical size of the image. We're going to go to image size, and we want to make it 8 inches wide by 6 inches high. And we're not going to change the resolution, and we're going to hit OK. I want you to save this as your name, first and last, or just do first and last, and you're going to do Lion assignment. Oops. And save it as a Photoshop file and hit save. Now you're going to open the lion. Image, and we're going to move the lion into the image background, which is this cracked background. And we're going to select it as cleanly and accurately as possible using whatever selection tools and methods we have covered so far. So I'm going to quickly do this. There's a lot of ways you can do it. My preferred method on a lot of this is the magnetic lasso tool. And then if you mess up, you can go backwards. And then this dark area, you can kind of roughly go around. Now that I selected that directly, I do not have to inverse it. I'm just going to hit the clipping path. Make sure the clipping path is selected, and you're going to double click, hit select, and then you're going to kind of play with it. I always like to change the viewfinder so you can see it better, especially since the background is dark. And we're going to see the feather. I'm going to smooth it some. We're going to hit negative some more. We're going to hit minus. There's all these tools that you can play with. We're going to minus the quick selection. You can go in there and get rid of some more of that black within this. You could use this one. This tool is, highlight it here, is the Refine Edge Brush tool, which it should go in and kind of refine that edge automatically. We'll see how well it works. And leave some of that hair. You'll want to make the hardness all the way down and the size all the way up, or up a little bit more. You want the hardness to kind of help fade. Let's zoom in some more. You can see how it kind of gets around all those hairs of the lion and gets rid of that black. So it's a little bit tedious, but look how perfect you're getting that hair of that lion. So that's kind of weird, but we can put that back in a second because a lot of his hair gets really dark down here. I'm gonna get rid of that a lot because it's like really dark. So kind of play with this tool. Let me see what's down here. So see how that cut that out pretty good. Let's get a little bit more right in here. As you can see, it's getting more perfected. Okay, so when you're happy with it, you're gonna hit OK, and as you can see, it's got a big gap right here. So hit your B for brush tool. I don't want it that big. And black's gonna take it away. Let's see, I have my opacity down. Black will take it away, white will bring it back. So we want some of that to come back because we went too far. And then you can switch it again. Bringing it way down. Get rid of that. So, where else? Okay, so once you like your outline of your lion and have it really clean, because this is going to be the bulk of the assignment is cutting this lion. Make sure you do non-destructive editing. We talked about the other day. We're gonna create a new layer called hairs. Now I'll show you what this is supposed to look like. Let's see if I have the actual image. In the instructions, it tells you to make a new layer so you can add more hair to it. So the instructions state on a new layer, create additional new hairs to fill in, connect hair segments, and produce a natural looking lion mane. Flip the lion image in new hairs layers horizontally, link them together, and set them in the lower left corner of the canvas. So to do this new hair image, you can play with it. I think these instructions are kind of older, so back when the clipping pads didn't cut as well with the hairs. But to do this, you are going to select the previous line layer. I'm going to put the new layer behind it. You're going to hit S for your stamp tool, and like I would just start selecting option, go back to the new layer, and then you can go in and behind it, as you can see, I'm stamping some new hair in to fill in. I don't think it needs a lot. Remember, when you pick back up, you need to go back to that layer, find where you want to stamp again, go back to the new layer, and then you're going to fill in where you feel like some new hair is needed. I feel like a lot of hair down here needs it because it's pretty dark. So let's go down there and select a new layer, or select a new selection. Remember, that's option. Click. And then I'm going to do that again now. So you can't see it through it. So what I'm going to do is get my brush tool, clean up a lot of that black, I think, and then add new hair back in, because I feel like it's really dark. It's there. Actually, we can actually see what happens if we do this on top. No, we can let them. Oh wait, that doesn't show through. So you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing with the hair. I just want it to look nice. And look correct. So that's still dark there, but we're just going to add in some more hair right in there. There we go. So this is kind of tedious, but if you just want to play with it to fill in a lot of that hair. Okay. So make that look good. And then we are going to, it says to flip it. So to do that, you're going to select both of them and you're going to go to image. I gotta remember where flip is. Under image rotation, you're going to flip. It says flip it horizontally. Did it flip the whole image? It did flip the whole image. There we go, just flip that. And then you're just gonna bring it down to the lower corner like it says. And you wanna link these together, the new hair and this layer. And so to link them together, you're gonna link layers. So right clicked and hit link layers. So now when one, it's kind of like grouping. So when one moves, the other moves. So that's really helpful when you have multiple layers you don't want to combine, because we want it to be non-destructive. So if we combined it, then we couldn't edit it. Alright, so now we're going to create a new layer and behind the lion. So drag it behind the lion. We're going to set the foreground color to the RGB red. So to do that, you go to your color palette. So RGB red, so we just make sure everything else is 0 and make sure R is 100%. RGB red. Actually, I got that wrong. 100% RGB red would be 255. Hit OK. Now it didn't fill, right? So to fill it, you're going to hit Option Delete. And it fills the whole layer. And then we're going to set the layer mode. So we've talked about layer modes before, and we worked on them in Illustrator. So this Photoshop has them and does them the best, actually. So we want to set it to multiply. Now we're going to open blue cloth image. This one. We're going to drag it into the assignment. Maybe. And we drag it in, and we're going to do behind the lion in front of the red layer. So that's where it's at right now. And we're going to use the free transform tool to scale the image proportionately to fill the entire canvas. So to do that, you hit Command T and you get your handles. With the new Photoshop, you don't have to hold Shift or anything. It automatically will proportionally scale, just like that. And then we're going to set the blend mode, like we did earlier, to one that will show the sapphire blue wrinkles of the cloth as well as the maroon cracked earth in the middle. So we want to show both. So we're just going to kind of go through one that will show both. So that kind of shows both. Is the lighten. So to compare what it looks like. Let's see what else they have. We want both to show up. So there's the cracks. Linear light. So you can kind of pick one. I think I'm going to do that one. It's a little darker. Now we're going to open up Swirl. And we're going to move this image into the assignment. And then the assignment and the image behind the red layer. And we're going to set the swirl image layer blend mode to linear burn. So we want this one to be linear burn. Like that. And we're off a little bit, so you can just use your arrows to scoot it over all the way to the edge. Now we're going to open old paper file. We're going to change the resolution to 250. So remember how to do that. Go to image, size, and change it to 250. PPI, which is pixels per inch, and hit OK. In a way that, okay, so old paper to resin 250 PPI, in a way that will also physically change proportionally the actual size of the old paper image using the horizontal type tool. We're going to type the words African lion in all caps. It says to use a certain font, but I'm okay with you using a similar font to it. So underneath the type tool, you're going to select the horizontal mask tool. I think that's what it said, didn't it? Horizontal type mask tool, which is right here. And you're going to click on the screen. I have a cursive right now, so I don't even think I have this font. Old paper, it's called NEU. Yeah, I don't have it. So just pick a font that is bold. I'll just use that one. And then you're going to put in all caps African lion. I'll zoom out a little bit. This is a huge document. And you're going to use 52-point font. We're at 72. Why is it so big? So you'll have to 52-point font. And then you're going to go to your character box and adjust. Go to your character box and you're going to adjust the tracking to 150. Your tracking is and we're going to move the textured image words and mask into an assignment image and center them in the appropriate location as pictured in the sample. So get your arrow, and we're just going to click and drag that right here. And we'll have to look at the sample. Just right here. So we're going to do it centered. Oops. So my font's a little bit different. Just going to make it above the line. Using the horizontal text tool, we're going to type the words African lion. Oh, we just did that, didn't we? Oh, no, we did it. African lion, all caps. Then fill the color. The fill color should be, so we're going to have African lion, and we're going to right click and we're going to duplicate. Maybe. Let me duplicate it here. Okay, so I just option drag it and it'll let me duplicate that layer. We're gonna double click on it and we're gonna color overlay it, and you're gonna click on this and you're gonna use CYMK colors of 32, 80, 100, tab 36. So that's about the color that you want. Put the brown text layer behind the old paper text and offset it to create a drop shadow. Reduce the brown text to 65 opacity. So just kind of offset it a little bit. And then the opacity can go down to 65. Close to 65. And then I'm going to select both layers since we use a little bit of a different font and just make it a little bit bigger. I'll play with that to make that. And then we want to link both these layers together so that they stay together. So again, you're going to select them both, right click and link layers so that they, when one moves, they both move. So now we're going to open Blue Sparks. And we're going to rotate the image 90 degrees. To do that, you're going to go to Image, Image Rotation, and we're going to do 90 degrees counterclockwise, like so. And then open Black Cotton Knits. Image, we're going to accurately select all the black continents and islands and move the selection, because right now this is already cut out actually. So we're wanting to a good way to select everything is get your marquee tool, select it, and then when you get your pointer tool, it will just select all those, and you're going to drag, and you're going to drag it to the assignment page. Move into your assignment composition. Let's see, into the blue. Oh, hang on. I did that wrong. It said to. We're going to actually move it into the Blue Sparks page, like that. We're going to use the continent selection to create a layer mask. So it's not, if it's not selected anymore, you can marquee it again, make sure you're on that layer. And now it's selected. You're going to go to your blue sparks, and then with it still selected from the continents, you're going to hit you're going to hit your layer mask, and then you're going to eyeball off of the continents, and then it will have that behind it in the layer mask, as you can see. We're going to move it onto the composition, so make sure you're back on the main image and move it to the composition. And we're going to scale the continents proportionally to fit the space in front of the lion. You can refer to the reference photo with the blue spark continent layer just behind the lion in the layers palette. So it is behind the lion in the example screenshot. As you can see how small it is. So that's how small you want to make it. So with it selected, you're going to hit Command T. You do not have to hit Shift to scale it proportionately. We're going to make it fit right there. So save your finished unflattened PSD assignment file into Google Classroom for grading. This will be worth 100 points. So after you get all that done, you are finished. Really wasn't too hard. Just some good practice on cutting stuff out. So if you have any questions after watching the video, please ask me.